so much for being on here today, guys. Really grateful to have you. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about what we did this last weekend. We had the Ogden Home Show. We collaborated. It was so much fun. We had a blast. Jared was really the guy at the helm, making sure this was going down. And we're going to talk about some of the results, some of the aha moments, some of the things we're like, man, I'm glad that I learned that so I can do better next time. And one of the other things that we can do to make sure that all these leads that we got are well taken care of, well thought of, and then connected. So we're going to have a great time talking today. So for me, anytime that I do something new, I want to learn from it. This is definitely kind of research and development side of Renatus, and it's a cool way to start to learn what's possible. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of recap from the context of what I learned the last fall home show, and then what we did as far as this home show and some of the other things there. And we have Nick, who is also there. We have Jared, who is there. Michael Huggins is going to be on today. So there's going to be multiple points and things that worked for us and things that are important for us to learn. Now, one of the things that I think is helpful is when we're recapping different things, that there's no bad ideas here. There's no bad experiences. There's just results. Here's what happened with what happened to us. And then we can take those things that happened to us and change it to happening for us. And I'm really excited. So we'll start right here. So this was my experience last fall doing a home show with Josh White. He was there as well. And we also had Michael Huggins and a handful of other people. We got Pete Smalley and some of those guys. So I said, one of my favorite takeaways was to slam dunk or alley oop this idea that we come in with one pitch and then we connect it to their drive after we've got their drive. That teamwork was something that made this all work way more effectively. So we called that like our contact sport. We had Josh and Michael and Carla. We'd all connect and make sure that every single person that came through our booth was able to be able to connect at least with one other person besides the one that originally talked to them. And that worked so well last time. And I wish I would have reminded myself that, because my very first day, I didn't do that as often because I went and I was roaming, but it would have been way better to roam with another person. So that was a learning opportunity for me. And then when we were tag teaming, that was something that made this whole experience way more trustworthy, because in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses are all things established. I thought that was really valuable. And because of how we ask other ICMs those questions, if we set it up right, we would let the other ICM know what the person's drive was. We did this a handful of times this weekend too, which I thought was super helpful. Then the other thing was, we don't let them leave until they've met at least one other person. That was really cool to help them hear other stories. We also kept trying different lines at that one with like, hey, 10 years ago, if you'd bought 10 homes, how would your life be different? That was my go-to on this one as well, because really what you're asking them is, hey, if you had $1 million net worth more right now, how would your life be different? Something of that nature, because almost guaranteed, you can't guarantee results, but almost guaranteed, if they bought 10 homes, they would have appreciated significantly, and they would have had some cash flow and depreciation. And there's so much value there. So if they would have bought 10 homes 10 years ago, the chance of them not being a millionaire is pretty low in their net worth. So what we're really asking them is, hey, if you had $1 million more net worth, how would your life be different? And using that logic to help them was huge. Do you know the expression, you're 3 feet from gold? That one was also a really super helpful thing. I used that one a handful of times yesterday. Must be nice to know everything. That was a fun line. I didn't use that one this time, but I did use that last time when we had people walking away. I don't know if that was the way to deal with people that were know-it-alls, but the way that I had one guy that he said, "Oh, I've got 150 rentals. I don't need what you got." I was like, "Well, what's next for you?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, what are you working on next? Are you wanting to get into any other elements of real estate or business?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm just going to be doing what I'm doing. I'm good. I'm good." I was like, "Well, we're here to help you be great if you want, but I'm not here to force you into your own future." I thought that was one of those things I learned from Greg Kimball and his masterful marketing class or his mindful marketing class that we're not here to force anybody into their own future. And if we ask what's next, it's so valuable. Okay, here's another thing. How would it be to know people work all month long to make sure that you're the first one paid? This is such a good line. We used that one last fall. I wish I would have remembered that one. I forgot to bring that one back up. So that's anytime you're trying out new lines, like so much fun. Anything that's a pattern interrupt that stops people and be like, oh, let's engage. When was the last time you brought a friend to a movie theater and the movie theater paid you for the referral? Such a fun question, right? That's leading into the ICM opportunity. Your job either pays you well or you love it. Which one is it? I also used that one a couple times with the workers that were walking around. And it really stops people. Want to pet Pearl? That was really fun. We had Pearl there. So that was what I learned from this last fall home show. And then today, these were some of my takeaways, and I definitely have a few more. I just didn't have enough time to drop all of them. But before we go and dive deeper into that, I want to actually open the floor to Jared Brenchley and say thank you for creating this opportunity for us. And thank you for taking the time and energy and effort that it takes to organize, because it's not just organized the day of. It took over a month to make sure that we had all the pieces put together. That was really, really helpful. So Jared, tell me a little bit of from conception to implementation, what that was like for you to get this home show from ideation into application.
So how long did it take us to get this kind of up and running? Is that what you're saying?
That process of let's do a home show to, hey, we just did it.
Hmm.
Tell us that process and then your experience there. Maybe a little recap of like, and this was why it was so valuable. And then we're going to turn the time over
Yeah.
right after your story. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. So we've done a few home shows, or we have not necessarily home shows. We've done a few booths before.
Mhm.
Um, I've done one a couple of years back, even before COVID, and then my team and I, when I actually had a team, we did one this last summer, and the last summer one was I learned a lot. So there was a lot of mistakes, and we didn't get any sales on that particular event, and that was mostly because of leadership, which was this guy. So taking those lessons and what we learned from that, after the fact, 2020 or everything, hindsight's 2020. So we learned a lot. Like, okay, this is why we failed. Just by getting with people that have done what we wanted to do and were relatively successful at it was a big help. So
Yep.
getting plugged in with Michael, and yourself, um, just figuring out, what's worked for them, what is, so, and then we did, so once we decided what we wanted to do, what it would look like, and then, being very meticulous as far as who we're bringing with us. So I had my team, and then plus people that I felt would add a lot of value, like yourself, Nicholas. Um, we invited Josh and obviously Michael Huggins, which is really cool that he was there the whole time. Um, and so we would have almost like for a couple of weeks, we had just had a group call for everyone there, so people can ask questions. We can get kind of good hindsights from people that have done it. So we try to learn as much as possible from other people's mistakes. We'll learn from our own and also learn from someone else's. And I think that was a big help. Uh, I created uh, like a Google document where everyone can look at it, where they can put in the times that they're going to go, so we know what we're going to be doing. And what's needed. The dress code was very particular about the dress code. Like
Mhm.
what kind of expression, what do we want? One thing I learned about being a manager at Walmart is that perception is everything. So how we look, how we present ourselves, our stance, our attitude, our faces, everything like that, our energy, that tells the message before we even open our mouth. So those type of things. Yeah, that's. I mean, it took some planning, and but I think it was worth it. We got a lot of leads from the show, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I felt like we had a really great turnout, really fun energy the entire time. None of us were sitting down doing nothing. We were on our feet enjoying playing with these different people that were walking past. One of the things that I learned from Jared was this idea of abundance with when it comes to providing like candy bars. I thought this was really helpful. He provided, and he asked other people to provide 100 grands and paydays. Now, there's a little bit of subliminal messaging when it comes to the choice of candy. It wasn't just like, hey, here's some random Laffy Taffies. Very intentional in which things we were giving out because we were giving out value that was way more than worth way more than 100 grand candy bar. And I actually used the words 100 grand almost every pitch that I did since we had that as an option. Say, hey, you don't like to leave money on the table, right? And that was one of my favorite lines that I would use. And they would stop, like, not like to leave. No, I don't want to leave money on the table. So great, come here for just a second. And then we would bring them back. And one of the things we learned day 3 instead of day 1 was instead of having the candy up front close to the edge, bringing it all the way back to the end of the booth where they had to enter and experience it. They felt more connected to us when they were instead of at the very front of the booth in the back of the booth. That was a great choice. And sometimes those little subtle changes make a massive impact and a difference. So thanks so much, Jared, for starting off this conversation with us. We're going to dive in with Michael Huggins. We're going to recap what we did, some of the experiences that we learned, and then I'm going to do my very best to capture some of those things and put them onto this document so that if any of you want to go and do a booth with any type of expo, we can have a booth kit for you that Team Elevate is putting together so that you can benefit from our mistakes, from our learnings, from all these opportunities, and you can get similar results. We can't guarantee results, but we can guarantee that if you do things similar to us, you're going to have fun and you're going to learn some great things. And the hope is that you can go and have experiences where you're going and getting great amounts of leads as well. So we're going to turn the time over to Michael Huggins, my good friend, my buddy, who we got to hang out with all weekend. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what we learned. Hey, good morning, Michael. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning, everybody. Awesome. Happy President's Day. Thank goodness for all the presidents. Man, we are so blessed to live in this country. So, I mean, I guess on that theme, shouldn't we play the national anthem real quick while I pull up some slides?
Let's do it.
Okay. Did everyone see Reba singing at the Super Bowl? Man. All right, we'll get this going, and I'm going to show you guys our lead capture thing and how we're staying organized and giving them value. All about the value exchange. And man, we had a ton of fun. And the boothers around us were getting a little jealous about how much fun we were having. So that is definitely a major key to attracting people and getting your results. So let's listen to Reba real quick, and then I'll show you some other stuff. Okay.
To honor America and perform our national anthem, entertainment icon Reba McEntire.
Lose Michael for a second. I wonder if his computer died. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Okay. Hey, Michael, you back yet? There we go. We
Wow,
lost
that was awesome. You ever have your laptop fall off of your table?
Oh no, is it okay?
Oh goodness, yeah, everything's fine. But I logged in as a guest, so I need host permission.
Oh, okay.
What a surprise! I was just plugging it in, and I yanked it off the table. Luckily, it fell on the carpet. Everything's fine. Okay. Bless America.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and over rockets wrecked the land, the bombers stinging in air, and through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Gosh, that was awesome. Okay, way to go, Americans. So grateful. All right, so what we did to keep some of our stuff organized as we were bringing people through this was two things. We have to have a backup process, okay? So we have a QR code. The QR code was critical for some people. Yeah, Brigham's got it right there. And then, because they're geniuses, they combined it with the clipboard. Okay. At my last booth, I had one thing for QR, one thing for clipboard. And Brigham was like, why are we separating? So put them together, made it super easy. Because, you know, some people are walking around with their phone, and so they're just ready to scan stuff. And then other people, you say, hey, scan your QR, and then they go, oh, where's my phone? Ah, there. And you say, hey, chill out, man. I got the clipboard right here. What's your name? So you got to have both ready, okay? And then the yeah, like Jared said, no sitting down. We didn't have any chairs. They gave us a few chairs and we had them out for the first day for a little bit, and then like, get these out of here. No sitting down. When the and then the key here is that it's the value, then the why we're here, and then the call to action. Okay, so so before we get into script, is there anything else? I mean, we got some cool pictures. We'll show you about the layout of the booth and stuff. And is Daniel on here today? No, he just sent me some shots of some banners he printed out because he's going to go do a booth here pretty soon too. So, so having iPads or a laptop or something where you can show the velocity banking spreadsheet is also a major key. Okay, before we get into the script, also I want to point out that we had to remind ourselves over and over, we do not polish turds. Polish turds. Hey, there's Daniel. Did someone message him to get his butt on here? Well, it worked. Hey, Daniel, did you hear me talking about you? Okay, anyway, what I'm saying is when people are walking past us and we're doing different things, we do not polish the turd, okay? We are sifting for gold, not polishing turds, okay? Okay, so understanding that there are turds out there, that look so nice. They're so friendly. They want to take all of your time. They have no friends. I'm not saying it's good or bad, right or wrong, but they just don't have any friends. And so they need people to talk to. And then they come to home shows and expos and booths and just talk, 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 talk. And you're like, please, I have work to do. And it's not polishing turds. So please step away from my booth. One of the nicest, most polite ways to shove someone on is enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Oh, have you checked out booth over there? Go enjoy the show. Okay, I probably said enjoy the show 1,000 times, several hundred times each day. Enjoy the show. 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 That's going to be a major key, because what happens then is you might not know that the person, so you're talking to someone right now, and then they're like, nah, this isn't for me. Real estate's stupid. And you go, oh, no, you're stupid. No, don't say that. So you're talking with them, and then as they're taking off, if you make some scrunched up face, or you're like, gosh, what an idiot. And then you turn, your face is still thinking idiot. Your thoughts are still thinking idiot, but now you're trying to greet your next customer. But no, none of that stuff. You're only thinking they're an idiot if you're attempting to polish a turd. As soon as you recognize this isn't for them, let them move on. So that was super helpful, to not try to convince, to not try to cling, and then also the people who are trying to cling to us, let them go. So anyway, if you are always having that positive energy, enjoy the show, and then you turn to the next one, those people see how excited and energetic you are by receiving a no. So now it's okay for them to engage with you, to tell you no if they feel like it. And it just created such an easy conversation for people. And it's all about that vibe. Now, some people in the booth next to us were playing music, so we didn't have to. But if there wasn't music on our aisle, we would definitely be playing music. You know, Bob Marley, greatest hits on repeat, right? A little bit of reggae. It's rated G. It's got a positive vibe. Everybody knows Bob Marley. And you can play it on repeat 12 hours and nobody's going to get tired of it. So that was helpful. And then the boothers are watching us and they're wondering why we're having so much fun. Because part of the challenge of our business is one sentence doesn't describe it, right? It's not like remodel your bath, you know, rain gutters, real estate. Well, real estate what? Real estate sales, real estate listings, real estate management, real estate lending, right? Like nobody knew, or nobody can tell from one sentence. So we have to draw them in. Let's see. Okay, so, and then the dress code was critical too, right? Like always well, I had on a suit jacket. At one point I was wearing a suit, tie, pocket square, the whole thing. And you're right, Doug. And you know, you got to dress for the occasion. You got to dress how you want to get paid, dress what you're comfortable with. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. Okay, so here's the script now. So we got our clipboard, we got our QR code, we got the 100 grands, we got the paydays, we got our great attitudes. So someone's walking down. It's 3 questions. Okay. 3 questions. Person's walking. Hey, good morning. How you doing? Now, okay, sure, that's a question, but I'm not waiting for the answer. Hey, how you doing? Do you own a house? Okay. So if they say yes, then we ask the next question. If they say no, then we say, would you like to? And we'll take you down that conversation in a second. But the yes, I own a home. Then the second question is, do you still have a mortgage on it? Okay. Now on a 3-day home show, like the national tours that go around the country several times a year, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is very predictable what groups of customers you're going to get. On Friday, it's free entry for senior citizens. Okay, so on Friday, you're going to meet a lot of 60 to 100-year-old people. And guess what? A lot of them have paid their house off. So don't be surprised when you get a bunch of yeses on Friday morning that all the 80-year-olds that are smiling and walking around happy have paid their house off. Think about it. An 80-year-old at a home show. Okay. um, Otherwise, where else do you see an 80-year-old? Right? If they could come to the home show, great. But if they're still working, they're not coming to the home show. So that's my point. Saturday is crazy busy, nonstop. Okay. I didn't even take a lunch break. We were having so much fun. And show up early on Saturday because guests and patrons show up early. And then Sunday is where you get a bunch of serious people, because that's the real buyers. They're coming to buy that hot tub. They're coming to buy that fancy massage chair. These are the people ready to buy, and they want to buy on Sunday. So you get a bunch of serious people on Sunday. Okay, so hey, how you doing? Do you own a house? Yes. Do you still have a mortgage? Yes. And sometimes they'll say, oh, it's really close to getting paid off. Or, oh, we just bought it last year. So, and then the third question, and you have to say it with a smile. You got to say it very curiously, genuinely curious. Raise your eyebrows. Third question, do you like paying interest? Now, I have to say it this way. I've tried it 5,000 times different ways, okay? This is the way. If you say, do you want to pay less interest? No. Their brain automatically hears refinance. So if you say, hey, you want to pay less interest? And they go, no, I'm good. I don't want to refinance. And then they walk away. So it's not, do you want to pay less interest? Okay. And then Nick put in the chat here, or a reverse mortgage. It's not a reverse mortgage. So do you like paying interest? And then they look at you. No. And say, great. Well, I don't sell refis. I don't sell houses. We're an education company. And what we do, excuse me, what we do is we teach people how to use their current tools, their current financial instruments to beat the bank at their own game and get out of the rat race, pay off their house quickly, do whatever they want with their life. And you're kind of assessing, if they got kids, you're saying, so you can invest in more time with kids, or, if they got a spouse or holding hands, so you can spend more time with each other, right? You'll adjust it a little bit there. So here, what we're doing at the booth is we're showing people, okay, I skipped something. You like paying interest? No. Let me show you something. What is this? Body language. Body language is five times more powerful than your words. So, you're excited. Do you like paying interest? Well, let me show you something. Okay, and then we'll just turn and step a little bit, and we got to bring them out of the aisle anyway. Like, that's kind of the rule. You got to bring them out of the aisle. So, and keep rolling. So, come over here. Let me show you something. And then we just had our iPad, and Tyson had his phone, and there was a laptop there too. Doesn't matter. Then what we do is a quick demo with the Velocity Banking Calculator. Super easy. You guys have seen Richard do it a million times. Super easy. You could do hypothetical numbers, boop, 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 in 15 seconds. You can say, look, in this scenario, we'd save $57,000. What would you do with that $57,000? Okay. And then they start thinking, oh. And then they look at, maybe if they're the spouse, they look at each other and, the little smirk is going on. Whoa, what would you do with that 57? And have some fun with them. Would you travel? Would you pay off the car? Would you, donate it to your church? Would you give it to your kids? What would you do with it? And half the time you'll get someone that says, I'd buy another property. You say, that's the right answer, man. And this is what we're doing here at the booth. What we're doing is we're giving away a 2-hour workshop on how to buy discounted properties and do this advanced banking technique so you can, save more of your hard-earned cash buy discounted properties and basically live your best life ever. So can I get your email address, or would you like to scan this QR code? That's it. Okay, now I'll say, okay, get the email address, name, city. Okay, great. So in this video that we're going to be sending you, it's about 2 hours long. Please write down some notes as you're watching the class. Inside the email is going to be my phone number, and call me back and we'll go question by question, one by one, so you have clarity on how this thing works. Sound fair enough? I'm sorry, I need to take this phone call.
No worries. So just to recap, to make sure that I'm hearing what Michael's saying, I'm going to see if this is what you guys got as well. So you focus on value, then you give them the why, and then a call to action. And then one of the things that he said without having to say it was you build out your clipboard so that it serves you rather than you serve it. So one of the ways we did that was we had a way to book a conversation with us. We had a way to connect to that Velocity Banking giveaway with this QR code. And then one of the things that I did that I was testing out this time was, instead of having the drive assessments on the cards on the table, I put on the back of my clipboard. And most of the time I was able to get someone to go through this assessment and tell me their drive, their primary drive. So that was really helpful. And when I did that, I had them point out one word from their drive that was the most important word for them. And I wrote that down. So here's an example, like this guy, he was an executive, but winning was the thing that made the most sense to him. So that was what I wrote down to make sure that I'm talking about how we can help him improve. The Velocity Banking spreadsheet, having that pulled up. Are we sifting for gold, or are we polishing turds? And the enjoy the show. Hey, thanks so much. Have a great one. Don't scrunch up the face. Love that. The music, I thought this was really helpful. We actually had two options. We have multiple people bring those Bluetooth speakers, because inevitably one of those speakers will run out of battery. So having multiple speakers and redundancy was very helpful. And we also had a booth next to us that was playing music. So we tag teamed. We only had to play music a little bit. And other people were doing that. And then show up early on Saturdays. I thought that was really helpful. And serious people are on Sunday as well. So one of the things—
Yeah, you don't get as many people on Sunday, but they're still serious people.
Absolutely. Super, super serious.
Hey guys.
And oh, Celeste, you got a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Regarding the music, I know Tim Vreeland had a property tour on Wednesday, and he played the music that Bob Snyder's daughter created that they play at the conference. And that is, completely relevant music, which is really catchy. So I was actually wondering if we could get access to that, or if she's planning on putting out some album, because it's really awesome. And, it gets played occasionally. So I just wanted to factor
Oh
that
yeah,
in.
I've definitely requested a full-on album that we can purchase at the store or whatever. So that's definitely coming. They've put so far, so like the in-between is going to be on the Renatus YouTube channel. Let me just pull this up real quick. RENAX. So on the Renatus YouTube channel, Jay Stark put a playlist of the music videos. So there we go. This one right here. Zoom, share, so you can see what I see right here. Nationals, music videos. So, you get the video and the audio here, but, just play it on repeat. I have it in my iTunes, and while Celeste, you were asking, I was like, how did it get into my iTunes? Because I don't need the internet, right? I'm not streaming the music from a website. It's in my iTunes, but I don't know how it got there. So, I'm sorry, I don't have the answer to that.
Oops, could you go back 1 second? I want to get a picture of that really quick, real fast. I'm ready now.
These are so much fun.
Tell me that
Okay, so speaking of the music video, today's the last day to submit yours. Dang it, Jared and Brigham, we should have done one at the booth.
That would have been really helpful. I mean, we did this last Thursday. We recorded it with Dane and all the other people that were on the call.
Oh,
Greg
okay.
Wednesday, and Bruce helped do that. But yeah, always fine to have people submit more options, because the more options that corporate has, the easier it is for them to clip fun things together.
Yeah, so some of you go and just even with your phone, go and lip sync a few things. The audio doesn't matter. We're not taking your audio. We just need your image and your happy face. So it doesn't have to be perfect. One time I climbed a tree and sang it in a tree. Okay. One time I got in my four-wheeler and sang it on a four-wheeler. It doesn't matter. Seriously, it does not matter. Just do it. It'll tickle Bob Snyder's little heart to see his company singing his daughter's songs. Okay. And then it's very positive lyrics. It's programming your subconscious mind with great information. There you go. See, Bruce is manifesting an airplane, and so he just did his part in front of it. So do it with your kids, do it with your pet, right? You don't have any kids, get your dog next to you, sing it. Anyway, I also know right now, as I'm suggesting this, it's confronting your ego. And you're going, what if I do it wrong? The only way to do it wrong is to not do it. Okay. So I'm going to put it on my calendar right now, setting another reminder, setting a reminder for this evening for me to do my own and submit it. Music video submission. Cool. All right, so back to the booth. So we've asked the three questions. Hey, do you own a house? Do you have a mortgage on it? Do you like paying interest? Let me show you something. 50,000 savings. What would you do with that money? Okay. Well, hey, what we're doing here at the booth is we're giving away a 2-hour workshop on velocity banking. It's a fantastic training on how to find discounted properties, how to do cash flow management, and then ultimately how to get out of the rat race, pay less taxes, keep all of your hard-earned money. It's totally free to watch. It's online on demand, so you can watch at your own time. And I just recommend that you write your questions down, and we'll answer them one by one when we reach out to you. So, what's your email address? What's your phone number? All right, fantastic. Well, we'll get that sent over to you. It was nice to meet you. Enjoy the show. Hey, how you doing? Do you own a house? Fantastic. Do you still have a mortgage on it? You do? Wow. Do you like paying interest? Let me show you something. Come here. 60,000 savings. What would you do with that money? Interesting. Okay. Well, hey, what we're doing here at the booth is we're giving away a 2-hour training. We're an education company, and we do have that banner right there. So look, 20,000 people have gone through our program. We got an A+ with the BBB. We're a debt-free company. Anyway, what we're doing here is we're giving away a 2-hour workshop on how to pay off your house, how to do cash flow management, and get a discounted property to add to your portfolio. It's totally free. It's on demand. It's online. You can watch it on your own time. And I just suggest that you write down each question as you're watching it. And then when I call you back, we can answer your questions one by one, because each situation is different. Does that sound fair enough? Great. What's your email address? Or you want to scan this QR? Okay, fantastic. All right. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. Enjoy the show. Hey! Over and over and over, baby. Eric, we don't give them the app, we just demo the app on our phones, tablets, laptops, because it becomes too cumbersome to try to get them to install something. So we'll just have the programs preloaded, and we can just quickly punch in something. Let me pull this up and I'll see if I can drop a link. So there's two different ones. There's a Renatus back office one, and then there's one I got several years ago. that it's just been working like a charm. Let's see if I can do it this way. Okay, so do you see that it's a very short conversation and then you'll have hundreds of them a day? Okay. A couple quick don'ts. Don't say, do you want to learn? Even though we're an education company and we know they need to learn, nobody wants to learn. So you get an automatic no when you ask that question. Don't do that. You need to answer questions, ask questions that are going to end with a yes to keep their brain in yes mode. Yes, step this way. Yes, give me your email address. Yes, I want to talk to you. Yes. Nobody wants to learn. Don't say, do you want to learn? No. The other thing is, don't wait for the answer to the how are you doing question. Hey, how are you doing? Because then they can say, I'm good. And I don't care how they're doing. I want to know if they have a house. I can tell how they're doing by their body language and their energy and their facial expressions and their tone in their voice. I can tell how they're doing. So I don't care. I want to know if they're in a position where I can help them fast, give them value as fast as possible. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be valuable, not just get leads. And let's be clear, you will absolutely waste yours and everyone else's time if your intention is just get leads. Okay, it's transfer value. And by transferring value, you can then be my lead or my prospect or my guest. Okay, if you set your goal to go get a bunch of leads, you'll end up talking to turds, people who don't need what you have, and you'll fill your whole schedule up with a bunch of busy work. What do you want? You want to transfer value to get sales, to get commission, get money. We only get the money if you can give value. So your goal is to give value, not get leads. Does that make sense? Okay. Sweet. So the other thing that we got to do that was special with this one is since we were so close to the Davis Conference Center and we're so close to nationals on the calendar, we told everybody about nationals. And plus on our banner, we had a little picture from nationals. We could point out, hey, several hundred to 1,000 people are going to be here in about a month. And they're flying, they're driving everything. All you got to do is just hop down the little road here and you're there. And, it's $400. Early bird special pricing is going to go up soon. So, but we'd love to show you exactly, who we are, what we do, why we're so successful. And you get to meet the CEO. It's going to be incredible. Every once in a while, you'll see someone who likes what you're saying. They get what you're saying, but they're still skeptical. So then you say, hey, Jared, come over here real quick. Share your story. Hey, Tyson, come over here real quick. Share your story. It's so easy to do the story thing, right? Because that's the second part. It's find the people, and then it's tell the story. And then we'll build for the event. Well, the event is going to be either their online video watching, or they're coming to a mastermind, a property tour, a one-on-one, but we're going to build for the event and then follow up. Find the people, tell the story, build for events, follow up. So let's see. And then just, having fun. I promise the having fun is going to be the major key. Lots of, because it's really confusing. You're trying to give away gold and people are rejecting it, the gold. It's like, hey, you're hungry, here's food. You're thirsty, here's water. And they're like, no. Okay. All right. But that confusion, you just gotta drop it and then bring up your energy again and meet the next person. But there was something I wanted to say around their weird answers. Jim Rohn says a weird question deserves a weird answer. One guy was walking by and I was like, hey, how you doing? He goes, I'm doing good. But his face was like this. I'm doing good. And I went, oh, well, tell your face. We're just having fun with it. I've got to do this. Sorry, Brigham. Okay. We got to stay organized with that link. Divya, the training is a webinar that I recorded that is a portion of an intensive we did. That's it. Just an old recording. So if you want the recording, Brigham, drop the YouTube link, but not the Entrepreneur link, because that triggers a bunch of other stuff.
Cool.
When I deleted the message in here, did it delete it for everyone? Okay. Sweet. So yeah, drop that YouTube link to the Tony Scotti training, and you guys, watch it. If you want to share it, don't just share it. Share it conditionally. I will give you this if you watch it and we have a time set up to talk after you watch it. Then I'll give it to you. Now, in the booth, it's a little bit different dynamic because it's scan the QR, here's your email. But I'm talking now you have my YouTube link to give to people. Don't just give it. 2 conditions. When they're going to watch it and finish it, and when you are going to talk to them about what they watched. Once those 2 things are established, then you can give them the video. Fair enough? Sweet. And I have the link here too, I can pull up. And the rockets wrangling, the bombs bursting in. 2 conditions. When will you watch? And are we talking next? Cool. So that's for the not being at a booth. But if you're at the booth, you want to set up a QR that's linked to your email system that sends them that video. It doesn't have to be complex or fancy. I mean, seriously, it's a bare bones thing that we're doing. It's a QR that sends an email. So basic. So what else? What else? What else? Does anyone else want to add anything that was at the booth with us that I haven't covered?
I guess I missed it, or I don't know, but how do you divide leads that just come in and, they sign up for, we have for example, for us, we have a sign up for a weekend at a retreat. It's like a resort with 9 cabins in the lake. It's a whole weekend. And so it was a way for us to generate as much leads as we can. And, we're thinking, how do we divide those?
Okay, so if you're going to go down that route, when the person, are they like dropping their name in a hat or a bowl or something like that?
So it could be both ways. It could be with a QR code or in paper. We're thinking if internet is kind of weird there because it's a big convention.
Yep. Do the paper thing.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be great for a couple reasons if you do the physical paper, because over time the jar gets bigger and more people want to play. Second is color code the paper. So when we did, we went to an expo. We went to an expo called What a Woman Wants. That was a fun expo. And we just had the fishbowl, but each ICM had their clipboard with a different color of paper. And so then as you're talking to people and you say, hey, you want to enter your name in the thing and let's keep talking about whatever, then that ICM is filling it out or giving them to fill it out and then drop it in. And so then when you go to divvy it all out, they just know the colors is that person. That was the easiest thing for us. The uphill battle you'll have with that is busy work, because you're going to start talking to people who only wanted to try to win the thing instead of what your booth was about. So there's pros and cons. The pros about it is you're going to get a lot of people. You're going to create a lot of momentum. And even though a bunch of those people aren't necessarily interested up front, you will develop an incredible skill for creating interest by calling all those people back and giving them the pitch over the phone. Just know that it'll be more work, but that work was necessary for me in my development so that when I got to the next expo, I could do way less work and be much more effective. So, and that much less work, if you psych yourself out and you go, wow, I only did a little bit of, I only got 10 leads instead of 1,000. But if those 10 leads, if 2 of them buy, you're making 25 grand. Okay. So again, it doesn't matter the number of leads, it's the sales, the income that we're after. So as long as you make them aware. Okay, so here's what we did on ours, and maybe you can find out a way to modify. Also, I just found out there's no pack call today, so I have an extra few minutes with you guys. Bob Snyder is traveling the world. He's finding our next Leaders Retreat destination this week, and so we really feel bad for him that he has to go to five-star resorts in 6 days and figure out where we're going to play. I mean, he's got a tough week, guys. So okay, so our drop your name in the hat thing was win a brand new Cashflow 101 board game. And at the booth, we had the board game opened, had all the pieces set out, had all the cash set out, the player sheets. Now, we weren't playing, but it was a display. It was a demo sitting there. And then we had 2 cash flow games wrapped in plastic. And then the bowl, we said, enter for your chance to win. That kept the context of the conversation, because what we did from there was, it was fun. So, Sunday the expo ends. Monday, I scheduled a call party at the office. Everyone, get your butt to the office. They already knew. As soon as the expo's over, next day we're at the office. We're divvying out all the leads, and we're going to do a call party. And each one's going to take a turn making calls. We're going to listen to each other, and then we'll split off. We'll go to corners of the room, and we'll make all of our calls. If you got any questions, I'll be here. And then we had a whiteboard, and then people would book someone, or they'd confirm. So let me explain that now. In order to win, what we're telling people at the raffle, in order to win, you have to be in person for our event. And our event is a cash flow game. So you see the cash flow thing, you're entering to win a cash flow game. I'm inviting you to a cash flow game play. The banner says change your relationship with money. So everything is following the right context and theme. And then we told them, in order to qualify to win, you have to be in person when we pull your name out of the hat, out of the bowl. Then we called all those people on Monday and said, hey, next Wednesday, so we gave them we gave them 8 or 9 days to arrange their schedule. Hey, next Wednesday, we're going to be doing this cash flow game and doing the giveaway. And, we remember talking to you. And so we want you to come and play and win and get this chance to win. So from the 250 leads we got that time, and then we whittled it down and booked people, all the calling, and we had about 35 people come to the cash flow game. And it was just those ICMs working the booth and those leads from that booth at that cash flow game. It wasn't a mix of the whole team and the whole market. We had to control the environment. So we made it on a different day than what the community was doing. Then we played the game. Then we had, two board games to win. And so as we're pulling names out, like, oh, this person isn't here. Sucks for them. Oh, sucks for them. Hey, Melissa, you won. Woo! And guess who else won? Pete Smalley. Woo! And that's how I got Pete. I enrolled Pete. I got Melissa. We had a $20,000 weekend. For me, a couple other people got sales too. And we got to play it around the game. And then, from that cash flow game, then we're telling them, hey, come back tomorrow. Let's talk about this. And we do our follow-ups, follow up till they buy or die. We probably got another couple sales out of that, within weeks and months, because we keep following up. That's our game. It's follow up, follow up, follow up. So, Daniel, now that you've heard me share that and you're thinking about your giveaway for the cabin retreat, what questions do you have, or what else do you want to know?
I think that's great, man. Thank you. That does clarify a lot, and I believe we're gonna go with the simplicity, right, of just having different paper colors and then just divide them like that. That would be the simplicity of it. When it comes to that QR code, I believe so. So we use a smart system. That QR code would take them to the smart system,
Yeah, easy
and
breezy.
so, you just gotta figure out the way to put some, before you sign up, you have to schedule the follow-up right there, and it will do it automatically. And I wonder if it would actually automatically say, hey, who do you talk to, and then they get to choose who do they talk to. That way it's separated like that. But
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
good way.
and so then being able to put the physical paper in and do the QR so they can get an email and reminders and all that stuff. Yeah, do both on every lead, and you'll stay much more organized.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I just hope this whole morning has been recorded so I can share it with my team so that we can be ready to kill it once again.
Oh, absolutely. And if you schedule a team call and it's after 8 p.m. Eastern time, then I can hop on that call with you and we could do a team thing for you guys.
Oh, that would be great, man. Yes.
When is your show?
It's actually, so we set up today and then it starts on Wednesday.
Oh, cool. Okay. So, yeah, if you want to do something tonight, or I mean, I'm not going to say anything new from this call, actually. So it would really just be if they have questions, have them watch it today for sure. And
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
reach out to me if you got questions, or we can just do a quick conference call or whatever, answer their questions. And then at the booth, the salespeople for the expos will give you a discount on a future booth if you sign up at that show, typically. And so Jared jumped on it, and we're doing another one in April. So, I stand corrected. He's doing 5 more. Excellent. Excellent. And then another key, Daniel, would be making sure you learn the succinct version of each person's story, right? So when I was talking to someone who, a truck driver, instantly that guy, retail, instantly that guy, working in education, that lady, so make sure you know how to point to each player's stories.
Of the other exhibitors that are there?
No, of your teammates.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, we will have like this the property tour flyers. So if we know that somebody relates to somebody, we'll show them the flyer as a attention grabber, and then we'll tell their story.
Way cool.
Yeah, and I think building relationships with other exhibitors too, and I like what you said when I came in. Where hey, this is not for you. It's okay. No worries. Enjoy the show, and just continue. Be smile. Be uninterrupted, and continue to talk to the people that are serious. I think that's the biggest takeaway right here.
Yeah, we're just we're blessing them with positive energy. Quite often what I would do is I would touch my heart in a slight bow. Okay, well, enjoy the show. It was nice talking with you, right? Because trying to shake their hands and shit, like some people just aren't ready for that, or they're holding a purse and a baby, a stroller, whatever. So you don't need to do all that, but enjoy the show. Big connection with people, and then they leave smiling, and then quite often they're taking laps. Oh, I forgot to go around. Then they come back again, and because we left on a positive note, maybe we can get them again. One last thing. Can you bring a dog? Do you have a dog, Daniel?
I don't have a dog. I have a cat.
Don't bring the cat. Does
Don't
anyone
bring-
on your team have a dog?
we can ask you. Why a dog?
The dog doubled our results. Okay, for a couple of reasons. One, chemistry. The oxytocin that's released in our brains by touching a dog or even watching someone touch a dog, our brain releases dopamine and oxytocin, the connection chemical. Okay, so even the boothers, everyone else around us, if they see a dog and we're playing with the dog, they're all chemically a little bit higher.
Mm.
Okay, and then the kids, oh, doggy. And you say, yeah, come pet the dog. Here you go. Her name is Pearl. She's 10 months old and she's just here having fun with us. Now they're playing. And then the mom looks up at the banner. What do you guys do here? You go, oh, it's perfect. So get the dog.
It's a whole science.
Yes. Okay. Now, if anyone asks, quick side note here, it's a service dog. Okay. Look up, super simple. You spend 2 minutes on Google. You look up the ADA Act, the Americans Disability Act, and it will show you. It's the easiest thing. As long as your dog doesn't bark, show aggression, poop, or pee, like you can have the dog anywhere as long as you're controlling it. So, but you have to say it's a service dog and stay in control of your dog. So, but yeah, it was easy. Just got, the dog just slept most of the time anyway. So get the pup.
My wife is listening too, so she will be there most of the time. I have a beautiful wife. I don't have a dog, but
The beautiful wife definitely helps.
maybe she'll triple my sales. You never
There
know.
you go.
I have another simple little thing that I talked with Jared about on the very first day that I did. I don't know if anybody else noticed. I always bring Febreze and I would spray that like twice a day, because sometimes you'll have people that are walking around the booths and stuff and they just, bless their heart, smelly people.
Bless their heart.
Just
Spray
spray
some smell goods.
keep
It's
it
good.
so that it's an inviting aroma as well. So
Nice. Bless
awesome.
their heart.
Bless their heart. Oh, here's another thing that I think we did pretty well this time is keeping your own personal things out of the booth. That was
Mhm.
something that we hid almost all of our personal things behind banners, and I actually took almost all my stuff to my car. So it's the more clean and precise your booth is, the easier it is for people to feel invited. If it's all cluttered, there's stuff everywhere, not as inviting. So
Yeah, like the only personal item you'll see is like a coffee cup. But like purses, bags, snacks, your lunch, all that stuff, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of the banner that gives Renatus his credibility?
a picture of my banner, or are you talking to Daniel?
I'm talking to you. The one with the BBB and all that other stuff.
Yep, I will. Give me a second. I'll pull it up.
So Daniel, this was also helpful when some people would be like, they look at the booth and they see 3 or 5 or 6 people and they're like, what do you mean you're going to help me with my mortgage and all this, And I say, look, we've had more than 20,000 people go through our program. We got a 14-year track record of an A+ with the BBB. Of course we can help you with this. What is your email address?
No, this isn't the right banner. This is our back banner that we created. I had a couple different iterations of it. That's the one we went with. Creating elite real estate leaders and real estate investors, on-demand coaching, mentors, software, and local community to turn your dreams into a reality. That was that one.
But yeah, Daniel, if you could get a printout of this one that he's going to pull up, it will definitely add some more credibility. Because I realized I kept saying the same thing over and over, and I'd actually end up writing it out on the notebook, and then we just made a freaking banner for it. So
The heck is it? I know it's here somewhere. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
oh, nice. Nick just dropped another picture in there. Oh, okay. Here's another tip, Daniel. Whiteboard. Look at the question on the whiteboard that we put it. If you guys click on that picture that Nicholas dropped in the chat.
One thing, if I could add something, Michael, we had a 10 by 10 booth, and we got upgraded to a 10 by 20, and that was very helpful because I was kind of surprised how helpful that was, because it made, because we had quite a few people there, which wasn't a problem, but it made it easy to bring people in, especially if I'm talking to someone, Michael's talking to someone, Brigham's talking to someone. We had enough space to bring people in, and Brigham brought these comfy pads on the booth floor. So people, like, after walking, for an hour or so in the arena, they can come in and feel, oh, nice and comfy, like it's more inviting, and we can bring people in, and it's actually an atmosphere. So getting a larger booth was aha moment for me personally. So the other booths that we're doing, I'm paying for the larger one for sure. So that's cool.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, definitely that elbow room helped for sure. And then, being a little more strategic with your placement of your booth around the expo. Nick, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to recognize the three of you guys for the preparation. Like, you guys had a lot of meetings, and I was a part of them. And it made a lot of sense once I was there and it was done. I don't think you understand how much work and planning and preparation goes in there, and all the little things that you guys thought about, you guys logged, just Brigham, all the stuff that you brought. To me, it just was helpful. And I think it was just a mash of all the experience you guys came together. And it was just like, I was thinking about that when I was leaving yesterday, going home. I was like, man, it was just amazing, all the prep work that you just don't think about. So Jared, great job, for coordinating it, but no stone was unturned. And even with that, still some learnings to iterate and get better. But I thought you guys did an amazing job having meetings leading up to it, just getting everyone aligned. And I think it enabled us to do very well, but also to learn and have some takeaways for the next time. So just the preparation was key.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. Nicholas. Yeah, it was solid. Okay, so one of the links I clicked on took me to the long banner. I want the tall banner. Is that the first link?
I'll resend those. So the last one I sent, I think, was that.
568.
Yep.
3.
I might have some pictures from live from the event I can sneak in there as well.
Cool. Yeah, because part of this is creating the credibility so people will believe you, essentially. Canva. Reset passwords.
Okay. Anyway, one of the things that I'm doing based on what I learned from this is I'm going to take the notes that we had from this meeting, put it onto its own Google Sheet, and have tips and tricks, and then the links from the banners, so you guys can have that as an option as well. And I'll get that pretty soon. We'll have that. First, I think as far as that, did Daniel get his Daniel, when you're printing these, double check that the size matches their dimensions. So when you go in there, it's really important to make sure that, otherwise they'll stretch it or they'll elongate it.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I triple checked before I got it printed, so that didn't happen. But yeah, just make sure the dimensions are correct.
There we go. So that last picture that Nicholas put in right there. So you could take Brigham's Canva design or make your own design, but the elements of it, I think, are critical, right? We got 5-star ratings on Google, Facebook. We got A+ with the BBB. We're a debt-free company, Inc. 5000, 3 years in a row, 20,000 students. And we got best in state for adult education. Our CEO got Entrepreneur of the Year. So of course, what we're doing will work. That's why we're here at the booth, is to help more people. So anyway, what's your email address? And then because we're trying to grow the whole business and not just stay self-employed, we also had a banner about being an ICM. Now that's just there. I hardly ever pointed at it or talked about it. I talked about our nationals a ton, but this design your income thing, how many Nate Lamberts do you need on your team, right? How many Richard Stocks do you need on your team? Now, Richard Stock used to just sell mortgages and, run about his life, and someone told him, "Come be an ICM." So the ICM thing, still put it out there, but it's not the emphasis because it's a home show versus like a job fair or something like that. So sweet. Well, I'm glad we were able to spend some extra time with this today.
Great. All right.
Yeah, it's working, folks.
We appreciate you guys. And yeah, this is recorded in the Facebook group. So
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm looking at the banners. You're not using Renata's names on it. You're just using generic. And
that was a choice that I made, but if
Oh.
you would like to, just follow the ICM guide with the banner or with the logo. That was one of the ways I followed the logo. If you can either use the logo with their black, white, or blue, or you can have that and their exact font. It's just the way that I built my banners. I didn't want the name Renatus where that was. You could change that very, very realistically.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. And with the online presence, with what Renatus is doing now, when people are Googling Renatus, it's totally a positive thing. And so yeah, be loud and proud about the brand.
Yeah. One thing that I would like to do in the near future, I wanted to do it this time, I just didn't have enough money to put into it, was to get a stretchy tablecloth over the tables. I wasn't able to do that, but that's where I would put Renatus. Very simple. That's the name of it, on the stretch tablecloth, because then it's not trying to compete with the other words on a banner.
Oh, there you go.
That's how I want to do the next one, Jared. So
one other thing, Daniel, and all of you who are going to go do this, in the slow times, go to the other booths and ask them genuinely tips about how to run expos, because there are some people who make $1 million a year selling umbrellas. Okay, they make $1 million a year selling vacations or whatever. Like people can make great incomes at expos. And so what I would do is I'd go over and say, "Hey, how many booths have you done before?" Like, "Oh, we do like 10 a year or something." Like, "Really? Well, this is only like our third or fourth or fifth one. What are some tips or tricks?" Or, mine's like right down there. "Would you mind coming with me for a minute and giving me your opinion on my whole setup?" You just walk down. "Oh yeah, change this, do that." Or, "Hey, it looks great." And because of me doing that, we changed our table setup. We didn't have lights before. And this one guy was like, "Are you an idiot? You don't have any lights?" "Oh, I'm going to Home Depot now." And we went and got lights. So go ask the other experienced boothers for their opinion on your booth and take serious notes.
One last tip I just thought of, Michael. The way that I followed up with every single lead before I went to bed, I sent them a picture of our booth with us in it. That was very helpful to close the gap. So that was something that I did as far as follow-up. So
Very cool.
yeah. Anyway, so thanks, guys.
That too. All right, folks. Have a wonderful day. See you later.